this is Rosine, your host, Your Story, My Inspiration podcast. Bravo if you've been here since the very first episode and been sharing and spreading the good news, good message. And if it's your very, very first time you just landed here, let me tell you something. This is the right place for you. Because here we share stories, we share experiences, and we want to make sure that your experience abroad doesn't put you under pressure, doesn't feel like, oh, I want to give up today. No, here we share because kindness doesn't cost a dime. Let me say it again. Kindness doesn't cost a thing. So let's help each other here. Only good vibes. So let's navigate something very, very important today. That is African timing versus Western timing. Come on, people. You know what I'm talking about here. My African people. Today I'm going to focus on that because I don't know in other countries if they have that challenge as well. But African timing is a thing. And I just want to make sure that we fix this thing today, because if not, then we're not going to be able to make it abroad where a second counts. A second is cents, money. So we need to fix this thing. Let me tell you something now that I'm speaking to you, now that I'm doing this video. I was approached recently by a person, US born and raised, and needed an advice how to approach people who were using their church and were going beyond the time they were allowed to stay in. Then when that person approached me saying, hey, you know, there is this group of people and we really appreciate them. We don't mind sharing the room, the sanctuary, the church with them. But this one thing, they have long church services and they are really a bit stretched, and it's bothering, other people in some ways. When that came up, my brain was like, ooh, here we go, my African people. Like, really, let me ask you something. Since when African timing is a thing? Since when being an hour late is okay? Since when 30 minutes late is okay? 15 minutes, oh my God, it's even a thing, like 15 academic. Nope. It's not okay in Western world. It's not okay abroad because you don't live on the earth yourself, by yourself. No, you live with people, you work with people, you interact with people, you encounter people that need the respect. And one of the ways of respecting people around you is respecting their time. Professionally, in personal life, regular life, time is really important. So let's talk about it. Let me give you an example. I will share my experience in so many ways. Like, trains can stop you for good 5-8 minutes waiting for it to pass, and it's a long train. You're not gonna fly over. The 5 minutes left for you to get work are going to be when the train is passing by. So the traffic lights, oh my God, there are some traffic lights where they can be red forever. And that's when you're sitting in your car praying those traffic lights to turn into green, anxious, sweating, wondering what you're gonna say. I just wasn't on time. It's just the traffic lights. It doesn't matter because you are supposed to show up on time. It doesn't matter because it's your responsibility to ensure that you give yourself time. There is no such thing as African timing. I don't know where that came from. It's okay back there when I'm back in Rwanda, I can be late. I'm not saying it's good, but It's an okay thing in the culture, but not here, you people. Let me say it again. There is no such thing as African timing. I'll give you another example. My previous job was caregiving. So I did a third shift, which means 11 p.m. to the next morning, 9 or 8. And doing that shift was so exhausting. The next morning, I would be so heavy, so tired, exhausted, dead. Actually, the only thing I was looking forward was the coworker coming, relieving me from the shift. Imagine if every morning my coworker would show up for me 30 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 10 minutes, maybe if you text me and said something's, going on. But look here, I'm trying to say we're, as foreigners, Africans, think that an hour later, 30 minutes later, it's okay. It's not, because there is a whole chain of things around you that are going to be messed up, that are going to be blocked by you being late 10, 15 minutes. Let's say that I assume that I have kids and you leave me from the shift super late. I'm gonna be late to bring people to daycare, those tiny humans that I need daycare for. And the daycare staff will be late for something else if you have to pick up kids to drop them, and so on. The staff at daycare gonna be late for something else. That cycle of people that you just messed up, it's not okay. Because if everybody's on time, then nobody's gonna get in trouble. Nobody's gonna be upset. Everybody's happy life. Let me tell you something. African timing puts you in trouble, because be in the shoes of somebody who is waiting there to be relieved, like Rosine, who spent an overnight on a couch helping people, and you show up when she can't even function anymore. Is it something that you wanna do, and you wanna be labeled as that person who is always late? You don't want to do that. You don't want to be like that. So let me tell you something. We can fix this, and it doesn't really matter where you come from, but respecting people's time helps you so many ways. Let's say that professionally it's not even acceptable, but the more you apply it in your life, the better your lifestyle become. Because if I know that have like 5 hours before I go to bed after work, then I want to use those 5 hours preciously. I want to make sure if I do evening walk, like around to refresh my brain, if I go to gym for an hour, after that, I don't want to spend too much time on TikTok scrolling. Next video, it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 11 p.m., 3 a.m., still laughing at funny videos. What I'm trying to say here, the next morning, you're gonna be so exhausted, you need more rest, and you're gonna bring that dead brain at work, and you're not gonna function way. No, it's not okay. So the more you apply the right timing in your life, the better life can become easier. I'm not saying to be under pressure, because it can be so much pressure in the Western world, but the point here, the bottom line here, is to manage to time your things. What do you do daily, both in your personal life and professional, because it starts in your personal life. If you had enough rest, if you did things that you had to do on time, and you didn't spend unnecessary time on things that don't bring value or improve your life, the next thing you know, everything fall in line, and you're good. And if you're good, you're gonna be able to be on time and show up at work like with all your brain together. So I'm trying to say here that helps your lifestyle to improve if you are on time. I gave you an example of when I was working in caregiving. By the way, shout out to people who do that job. You're doing amazing, and you're helping around. Those people need people. But I'm just saying, don't come for me. I'm just saying, if you are there because of the bills, if you are there because you can find a better job and you think you can do, I'm not saying that caregiving is not a good job. I'm saying that some of us, when we are so new here, we don't know how to move up. We don't know how to find the job of our dreams. It may require you some effort. It may requires you to do things like going to school. Don't come for me when I say school. Some people get annoyed because they have their degrees from their home countries and they don't want to go back to school. And it's investment in yourself. And when you invest really well, getting back on track, you can move up. There are so many opportunities out there. It doesn't matter that you have an accent. It shouldn't be in your way. It doesn't matter where you come from, the color of your skin. It doesn't matter that you're an immigrant. If you qualify for the position, apply for it. If you have any questions on how to find job of your dreams and how to, maybe it's another topic, like choose wisely what you want to do, because you want to do a job that you wake up in the morning saying, I'm gonna make this day the greatest day of my life. I'm gonna go to work because I love what I do. I can sustain myself, I can live comfortably, and I can sustain my family if needed. All I'm trying to say here, there are so many opportunities out there, you guys from other countries, that you can take advantage of. Drop a comment, reach out. I will do my research. I will ask around. But if you need any information, just to make sure that you do great job choosing what you want to do and sustain yourself and have a better life, please, reach out to me. Moving forward to African timing, Western timing, let's say that it's just not okay. There are so many solutions to that, and let me give you my suggestion. I set up alarms, like maybe 2-3 alarms, to make sure that I do the right thing and I don't feel like dragged running behind all the time. Some people wake up in steps, so you need a first alarm to wake up your brain, the second to remove your blanket, the third to get out the bed. It's up to you, however, like how many alarm you need on your phone, but it helps. Like the first one, I just, hey Roseanne, you gotta wake up in a little bit because you need to go to work and do your job. And the second one is like, Roseanne, get out of the bed and go shower and dress up and show up to work, because that's being an adult. You gotta work. So setting alarms on your phone is one of the solutions. Another one is making sure that you go to bed not too late. Scrolling on TikTok, just a little bit of, it's funny, 3 a.m., your brain is working and being worn out, and in the morning you're not going to be able to be rested and go to work. That's not okay. So you want to make sure that you go to bed not late. I would say I try not to go to bed later than 11 p.m., 10, 9 sometimes, and it helps because you get enough rest. Even if you would go to bed and feel like you're going to wake up super early than necessary, then if your brain is wakey, like awake, then you can do something else before you shower and go to work. The point is, the bottom line of all this is that you need enough rest to be able to change your lifestyle and to respect time and adjust to good timing. I would go on and on it's up to you what you want to do, how you want to do it. But the thing is, one of the most important things, you need to be rested to be able to function. Then using your phone to set up alarms, as many as you need, to wake up, to cook, to work out, to be on TikTok scrolling, to watch a movie. Because if it's a series or the next episode, oh my god, I want to know what's next, and it's a series that you're loving a lot but you can't help it, it's gonna mess up a little bit your timing. Just know when to stop, when to do something, like the next thing. What are you gonna do? So that helps you to have like a better timing, a better lifestyle, because it saves you so much unnecessary time you spend on things that don't bring value in your life. And you want to make sure that you have goals, you have your target. What is my next goal? How am I going to help myself? What helps me also is having some routines. I have a planner, and sometimes I don't follow through, but I know if I switched, if I had to knit, I do crocheting, by the way. It's therapeutic and I love it so much. So if I wanted to crochet, to do my crochet, and I don't feel like doing that evening, then I can switch to watching a movie, or I can replace it to typing down some stuff, doing a script for this podcast, or write some of my writings. I do poems, I do monologues. So I switch so that I don't feel like my life is the formula 1 + 1 = 2 or boring. But I want to make sure that everything I do has its own time, and don't go beyond on, oh, let me see what next, or let me see what next video, or let me see next episode of this series that I love. No. Just, it requires a little bit of discipline. And that's when I said, when you really gotta show up to work and you know that the drive is gonna be long, just remember those traffic lights can turn into red and be there forever, and you are sweating, wondering how you're gonna apologize to your supervisor, like, it was just the traffic lights. No, you were supposed to be responsible, and that train that stopped you for the hot 5 minutes shouldn't be that way. If you planned ahead, if you were proactive, and you had like at least a window of 20 minutes, 15 minutes. That's what I used to give myself when I was super new here, because I needed to make sure that I have enough time to drive myself and get there safely without rushing. So I would give myself a window of 15 minutes. It might be 5 minutes for you, it might be 10 minutes for you, but what I'm saying, give yourself time to do things. And remember, if you feel so much pressure because the lifestyle is so much things happening and you don't feel like mentally okay, just so you know, you need time for yourself. You need to talk to somebody. You need to reach out to many resources out there that could help you. But right now, I don't want you feel like you should be under pressure or anything. I just want to make sure that you understand that time, every second counts, and it shouldn't be spent on something that doesn't bring you value at all. Do your thing, share, subscribe, and just spread the good stuff here. I hope that you're doing great, and if not, tomorrow is another brand new, it's a blank canvas. You can mold it, you can draw whatever you want to do, but if it's not working today, then it's gonna be tomorrow a better day. Make it a great day. If it didn't work today, take care of yourself. Remember, take a bit of time, breathe in and breathe out, and help yourself. Thank you. Take care. I will see you next time. Bye.